For this week, I looked up YouTube videos about servant leadership. I identify well with the idea of servant leadership because I feel that if you go out of your way to make the job easier for people, people are going to see that over time. They're going to appreciate it. And if you invest in people, they're going to invest in you. So if you, as a leader, have an idea of your mission, your vision, your goals, where you want to be, you can express that well and you can get people to buy into, hey, this is what this leader wants, but then you invest in them. You invest in their future. You try to give them new skills. You try to help them become better, however that is for them, whatever it is that they want. I'll give you guys a great example. So I used to run a poker business. In the poker business, I had 12 to 15 dealers at any given time. Well, I would have meetings once a week, once a month, depending on what the different dealers needed. If they were newer, we had meetings more often. If they have been there a while, we had meetings less often. A number of those dealers went on and obviously got jobs other places. What's awesome about that for me is that they called me and they said, hey, Josh, listen, would you be a reference for me? Because with you, I worked and I learned how to, be a part of a meeting, bring ideas, write ideas, get involved. So by investing in them, having meetings with them, finding out what it is that they wanted, I found out that one of the guys, wanted to get into another industry. I shared with him my insights on the industry and tried to help out the best I could and said, hey, if there's anything that I can do to help, let me know. And he used me also as a reference for that. So pretty cool. But here is the first one that I really enjoyed. What I enjoyed about this particular video, I'm going to show you guys a little snippet. But I like the fact that it really simplified it. I enjoy when someone takes a concept like servant leadership, which seems a little overwhelming, and then went ahead and broke it down into something a little bit easier to swallow. So here's this.
Servant leadership is a tried and tested leadership approach that's about creating a shift from managing for results to designing environments that create results.
The best part about this video for me is it really kind of explains what servant leadership is in a way that's easy to understand. I think that a lot of us, when we think servant leadership, we think, well, someone who serves other people. But it's not necessarily that you serve other people or put their needs above your own or any of those things exclusively, right? You definitely are putting other people's needs before yours. So you focus on their needs, focus on making sure that the team's needs are being met, because if the team's needs are being met, then they are going to work hard to achieve your mission, vision, and goals. So the biggest thing for this is that it breaks it down and explains that, there can be accountability. You can still be, manage them, right? But on the leadership side, you're going to lead through investing in your people. The second video that I decided to speak about, and I watched 5 or 6, maybe 7 videos on servant leadership before I accidentally allowed YouTube to get me off topic and I started watching videos on other things, which if you know anything about YouTube, it can do that. So I watched a video about Ian Furr. He is a gentleman from South Africa who started businesses during the apartheid. And that was a time where black people were downtrodden, to say the least, by the white majority, or maybe minority in the number of people, but majority at the very least in power. And what he found was that he started businesses primarily around and associated with black people because they were an underserved group within South Africa itself. And so there was an opportunity there. So he saw opportunity and he decided to take advantage of that opportunity. And he went in heavy-handed, telling them how to do their job, where to do their job, when to do their job. And he found that they were difficult to work with. Now, part of that may have been a predisposition to not enjoy white people because they weren't being treated well by white people outside of work, cops, etc., which was brought up to him by one of his employees. He said, look, the reason I'm passing out pamphlets saying that, as black people, we shouldn't do businesses at white-owned businesses, we should only do it at black-owned businesses, is because there's got to be a shift in power. And where I understand where that guy was coming from, and I totally get that, if you identify with a group, it's good to do business with that group. And there is a shift in power because money is, to a degree, power. What Ian figured out was that he wasn't properly serving this underserved group. He wasn't helping them. And so what he came to realize was is that he needed to focus on how to make his people, right, which were the black folk that were working for him, how to make their lives a little bit better. Because the reason that they could see that, hey, we'll not do business with your business is because they saw him as just another heavy-handed white guy. And so he came to the realization that, becoming that servant leader, focusing on how to serve the needs of others, he became a better leader himself. And I'll show you guys a little clip from that because I really did enjoy that as a TED Talk.
But sadly, one day, I discovered that Ralph was found handing out pamphlets that were promoting a consumer boycott of white-owned stores. And we were a white-owned store. And he was handing out the pamphlets. And this was my star worker. So I called him in and I spoke to him like a father and I said, what have you done? How can you do this to me? And he said, you know what? I enjoy working here, Ian, and I thank you for the opportunity. But at the end of the day, when I go home, my life is like hell. I get harassed by the police every single day, and I don't know from one day to the next if I, myself, my family, or my friends might be arrested for some or other ridiculous apartheid law. So we decided enough is enough. I mean, the guy's shouting there about black people eating off his plates. So we decided to get out and do something. I was dressed in my jeans and khakis as always. Stanley had a jacket and tie on that day. So we reversed the roles, and I went up to the racists, and I played the humble, rural African servant, and I said, "Nyabonga Baba." And he looked at me, and then Stanley stepped up to the plate, straightened his jacket, pulled up his tie, and pointed a finger in his face. He said, "Don't you ever treat my white boy like that again."
The bottom line for Ian, for what he said, is that work is not about making money. Work is about serving people. So whether you're serving the people that you work with, serving the people that you work for, or serving your customer, the idea is that you are out there to serve others, and because you're good at doing it, because you're good at fulfilling a need of others, you earn income. And the better you are at serving people, the more money that you'll end up making. Thank you guys. It was a great class. Good luck with our presentations tonight.